we've all had that season in our lives where you feel like things are just not making sense. Gigs are not coming through in how they normally used to come in. And yeah, man, now us being parents, because God blessed me with a son. So now obviously that changes also how you now perceive life. I'm a Christian before I'm a musician. And with the gift that I've been given, why can't I now serve in church? Because this is a God-given gift, so I should be in church. It's natural, man. You don't have to even channel yourself like, nah, I'm gonna change this. No, it's natural.
Bro, one thing that us as drummers, we get it so hard. Like, it's so hard for us to get it. Being soft, but still let every beat sound the way it's supposed to sound.
Most definitely.
How do you do that, bro? Like, you are chill. Like, every time you're playing drums, you're relaxed. your chops are clean, top notch, but you're so relaxed. Like, how do you do that?
I don't know, brother.
Everyone, welcome. Well, they call him Boykie, but it's a nickname. But everyone, welcome Boykie.
How's it, brother? Thanks, man, for having me. Greetings to the Beyond the Vision family.
Yes.
So yes, it's Charles Boykie Mnomiya.
Oh, so your real name is Charles?
The real name is Charles.
Okay.
Stage name or nickname, Boykie.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. To just kickstart this episode, I just want you to take me through the background of how you started playing drums. Because for me, I play drums too, although I haven't been playing for over a year and a half because I moved places and all that. I started playing drums by playing, buckets, still plays and all the stuff. It's very funny how I started back in 2012. So I just wanted you to take me through the background of how you started knowing that, I like drums and I would like to play drums.
Man, I believe we all have the same story. You are just a kid taking your spoons, hitting the parts here and there, But I think where it differs with me is the fact that I come from a musical family. My late grandfather is a singer. My mom is a singer. My uncle is a guitarist. I have a cousin who's a drummer. I have a bass player. I literally have a whole band at home. So with me, I think at a young age where my parents got to identify if I'm in this music space as well. At church, I used to go to a church called KCC in Wamash. Every single Sunday I was there. I'd sneak around and find my way and go to sit next to the drummer and I poke him like, hey, what's this? My parents are like, okay, we see, because now the background of music, so they can see definitely I'm aligned to this. So they bought me, I was still a kid, man, like 4 or 5. They bought me a keyboard. They bought me a drum kit, like a small kids instrument. So they placed the keyboard in front of me and they placed the drum kit slightly further. They wanted to see now, where is my calling? I pushed the keyboard aside. I literally jumped for the drum kit.
Sure.
And from there on, man, I think this is where they identified, okay, now I love the drum. Gracefully enough, my late father, I think I was around 12, he bought me my first drum kit. This is now where I was now, banging proper things, not no longer just banging teaspoons, these parts and not. Sure. So they invested in me, bought me my drum kit, and then it's just from there, I believe it just grew because it's a God-given talent. I never went to school for this. It's just natural, and from there on, I just believe my journey kicked off.
A wonderful story, man. And I think for everybody who is a musician, the first thing that interests you when you have musical thinking inside you when you're young is drums. Because I think drums, they're the most fascinating instrument. And when you're young, you just you're just fascinated by that person who's playing there. Because same story you're telling, at the church where I used to go, when I was a very young boy, I would do the same thing. You know, I would find my way to sneak up to the stage just to try and hit the drums. And one time, a very funny story. One time, the drummer, I don't know where he was. You know how drummers are sometimes when the pastors are preaching. I get out and when I get some fresh air, I'm tired. So then the pastor sings a song. He wants a drummer now to play the drums. I'm like, I was a young kid, man. I went up there.
That's how it is, man.
I hit those drums and they were like, so these things are this hard. Like I was terrible. I didn't even know what should I hit a tom? Should I hit a hi-hat, a crash? What should I hit here? Snare, whatever. But from there I was so embarrassed, bro. After that moment I was embarrassed. I was like, you know what was I doing, Phil? But it just gave me more drive. I went home, I continued with hitting my buckets and it still plays there and everything. And one time it happened that this other guy who was going to a church close by, he came to my household while I was playing my buckets and everything. And it was like, I enjoyed the way how you play this thing. They just bought instruments in my church. Why don't you come with me and join me in my church? I'm like, you know.
It's a bit challenging.
It's a bit challenging because now I don't have that confidence to say I can go and play drums in a church. And then at one point, I think after so many times, he came to my household so many times. Every time when I would be playing my buckets and whatever, he would pull up and tell me, he would say, hey man, you should come through. And then I eventually decided that, you know what, I'm going to go there. I went there, and to be honest, nobody taught me how to play drums. I learned through playing those baskets and everything. And the moment when I started going to that church, they put me on the stage and I started playing, started practicing.
Of course, man.
And that's just how the journey started, man.
I personally believe every single musician out there knows church is a foundation for us to grow. You don't just randomly come out this amazing person you are. You start in church. I mean, I started in church at the age of 11, introduced to drums, keyboards, bass. You know, coming from a place where I just only knew drums, now I'm seeing these different elements. There's guitars, there's what. We all started from church. For us to be where we are, we need a foundation of church.
While we speak about the foundation of the church, here you are, you've grown as a musician. Your musical knowledge is already, it's grown over time. How are you finding it serving in church when you also know that this is it's like right now it's like what part of your career? How are you finding it having that mindset to say, I'm gonna continue to serve in church because that is a God's given gift and you have to use it to praise God? Like how is that situation for you?
Man, I mean, if you come from a foundation of church and a Christian family, so my family are Christians, so serving, I've always looked at my mom. My mom used to serve in church as a vocalist. My elder sister used to serve as a vocalist. So being surrounded by those thought processes near me, it kind of just aligned myself with it naturally. Where like I'm a Christian before I'm a musician. And with the gift that I've been given, why can't I now serve in church? Because this is a God-given gift, so I should be in church. It's natural, man. You don't have to even channel yourself like, nah, I'm gonna change this. No, it's natural. You have to be in church. Every musician's foundation is church, and it will always be church. No matter how big you are, no matter how amazing you've been, no matter where you are right now in life, you'll always have to go back to church, because there were days we were Christians before we were musicians.
True.
It never changes. So for me, it was naturally easy. Like, I love being in that atmosphere of church, because I'm not just a musician, but I'm a Christian. I'm born again. So I also need that the word. I need upila nabantu, you know. So it's natural, man.
Such a wonderful thing to hear, man. Because out there, people have this thinking of, you know, instrumentalists are bad people, you know, instrumentalists are players, you know, all the girls in church, their hours and all that. People have got that thinking, but it's and I understand, because there are some people who came into this journey of being a musician, and they took it to a whole other dimension.
Of course.
Because it's like they followed the footsteps of Lucifer when he was still Lucifer.
Yeah.
He was a musician, but he followed a different direction. However, it's such a wonderful thing to notice that there are people who are doing this thing, and they are acknowledging that this is a God-given gift, and this is what I need to use to praise and worship God. Like the main reason why I have this gift is for His praises. Not, it's okay to use it for you, for yourself to survive. It's okay for you to use it to reach your dreams and everything. But the main focus has to be the fact that I've been given this thing freely by God. So I need to use it to serve Him and to give praises back to Him. So I think that's just that's one of the wonderful things about you, what you're saying right now.
Of course, my brother.
So take me through your childhood. You're growing up in a family that they love church. You're exposed to music, and just like any other kid, what are the other challenges that you can say growing up you faced, and that whatever challenge that you may be comfortable to share, what are some of those things that there are things that happens in your life and you can never forget those things? Like, obviously, as a kid, there's many things that will happen. You may be bullied, you may fight with a few people and all that, but some of those things, they subside your mind, you forget. But there is those things that happens, those situations that occur, and they stuck with your mind. Like wherever you are, it's like this thing is always haunting you. It's always gonna find a way to come back, and it will sting you, and it will sometimes even take away your happiness. Not necessarily your happiness, but it make you think deep. What are some of those other challenges that you faced as a kid that you may be comfortable to share?
Man, firstly, as umfana, as a boy growing up, life is definitely different for us males. For me as well, growing up, when I lost my father at a very young age, never got to be exposed to what manhood is. So there was no male figure to teach me what manhood is or what's the right direction in going into this journey of becoming a man. So obviously, as a young kid who's not exposed to such, I mean, we made bad choices in life. We met the wrong people in life. We've done things we are definitely not proud of. But I believe through the prayer of my mom, it brought me to a position where I can say those things that happened to me, be it the friends I met, the choices I made at that age when I was still a kid, those things no longer hold me down, or they don't have any input in my life, because I fought very hard to be where I am right now. And to say, if you say umzalwan, obviously we're saying ayiko into endala that's gonna hold me down, because siyaphambili, we're moving forward. So as much as I call my elements, I mean, we all have elements as boy kids, challenged from being obviously me being me, a different color kid, ehlala kwamashu, a colored amongst black people. So it's like, like there are some sort of forms of being bullied, but they wouldn't be able to face me because now they don't know reaction since this thing of colors. So they're like, I'm Lungu, hey, njani, whereas you have freckles, like, hey, well, so zonke lezo zinto, I mean, I was able to like, this does not define who I am, this does not define where I want to go, specifically because now I know this is the career I've chosen, because now for me, my music career is always aligned with my life. It's not two separate things, it's who I am. So I was able to say, this has happened, sharp, this is where I'm going, and this is where I am right now. So nothing is holding me back, my brother.
Wow. No, and I think that's one thing that is it's great for somebody to be so confident to say, you know what has happened. Especially when you lost your father and you didn't have that father figure growing up, like you're brushing through it, but I can see ukuthi that was it should have been a challenge for people to be like, for you to grow around black people who just be like, now they're segregating you because you are colored and all that. And understanding the way how you're speaking it right now is just amazing, because it shows that you've moved on and you didn't let that to bring you down
peacefully.
But but understanding that at that moment when it was happening, I don't think it was that easy to move past it.
Of course. I mean, some of our challenges shape us, some of them break us. So you just have to decide whether they make you or they break you.
True. So now with the music journey, I've listened to a couple of songs that you recorded with Phindi P. I'm not sure if you recorded an album with her. What a wonderful I've listened to several songs, and one notable thing that I've noticed about you when you play drums, I noticed with that album, I notice it every day when you play at church. Bro, one thing that us as drummers, we get it so hard. Like, it's so hard for us to get it. Being soft, but still let every beat sound the way it's supposed to sound.
Most definitely.
How do you do that, bro? Like, for some of us, man, you have that thing of saying, I have to beat this thing for it to come out the way I want. But you are chill. Like, every time you're playing drums, you're relaxed. your chops are clean, top notch, but you're so relaxed. Like, how do you do that?
I don't know, brother. I honestly don't know. Man. I promise you, I don't know. Like, a lot of people ask, like, dude, we never see you struggling, like, but you here. I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe because, again, I say music is a character for me. So I'm speaking through music. So whatever I'm doing is saying this is my input into the conversation, because I believe music is a conversation.
It is,
If now I'm loud, this means I'm a loud person in general, which I believe I'm not. I'm very shy. I know a lot of people don't believe this, but I'm very shy. I'm shy. But at the same time, within the music, I mean, I have to add my value to the song and not now overpower. Because I think maybe for me, with the music background, I was taught that there's a lead singer, there's a keyboard player, there's a bassist, there's nan. We all adding value to this specific song. But at the end of the day, remember, we are here pushing one vision of umuntu that is singing. So we shouldn't overcrowd that person. So for me, I think this is where I taught myself, like, as much as I can be loud, I can surely be loud, but I'm like, no, man, let the music balance. We need to hear the bass, you need to hear the guitar, you need to hear everything. It should be balanced. So this is why I don't see the need for me to like, as much as it has to be, though, it has to pull through into your ear. Just keep it here, man. I don't know, man. I guess it's just natural, no?
But it's one thing to master, man. That principle of saying sometimes less is more in music. It's one thing that musician they struggle to get it
most
right.
Definitely.
With experience and practice, obviously you get better and better and better. So that's very wonderful. And how was your experience? What were some of the notable moments behind the scenes when you were preparing to record Phindi P's album?
Man, I think with any artist that I play for or record, for me it's important to understand the thought process of where are you mentally, where do you see this going? So we try our best, or personally I try my best to align myself to your thought process. So I first day one, I don't go all out. I play listening to you. Okay, so this is where you are, because I can tell when you sing, okay, this is very emotional for you. So I don't have to be now like So I have to now understand, okay, so you're emotional. Why? What happened? I put myself in your shoes, understand. Because music, again, is very spiritual. Whatever I'm playing is going out to someone's ear. If I'm now angry on stage, playing with anger, this means I'm setting an angry mood in the room. So I need to focus and put all that aside. I'm like, okay, so she's going through something. Let me understand what she's going through, put myself, and then like, okay, so this is how you're feeling. So let me align myself to that feeling and then express myself. So for me, background, this is where I prepare myself mentally. Also with genres, how every song, because not I believe every song is not going to be the same.
Yeah.
We have songs like those Kwasa Kwasa songs. We have Alpha and Omega.
Yeah.
Those are different elements. So you can't be playing Alpha and Omega in Kwasa Kwasa. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you align Lezo Zinto Lezo and focus, man. I always say to people, focus. Straightforward, focus. It's not that hard.
I see. And going forward with music, if we are talking at this moment, you are recording with many artists, you're playing in different concerts. What are some of the things that you are learning and developing from each person that you're working with and your band and everything? Things that you may say they are contributing in the life that you're leading right now. What are some of those things that you can say, yes, I'm adding value in this music thing? You're gigging almost all the time. You're playing at church, but you're working with people. Just your experience with working with people. What are some of the learnings that you're learning throughout that journey?
Man, I think I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded by people who are amazing. I mean, I'm surrounded by the great Babwanda Kwela, Tutuko Dlamini, Qhubhekani. Like there's a number of people I'm so close to, all talent and Mbata. These are people who view life differently. So each and every single person in and I get to see and learn how they perceive life. And I see maybe here with how Mina, I might have acted differently in a situation. But if I talk to them and say like, this is my problem, then I get to see how they think. And so these many individuals have really shaped how I could maybe even make a decision based on if I should play the gig or not. Or even personally, outside of music, the way they think really shapes how I look at life, because these are now generally amazing people, even outside of music, looking at how because these are mainly married people. Well, one day, hopefully, I'll get there. Okay. But, looking at how they doing life with their families, their kids, their wives, it kind of get inspiration. I mean, personally, it's okay. If he can go through this in this manner, I can possibly also take a lesson from there and apply it personally. So for me, it's always just being around great people, man. Yeah.
And it's wonderful when you're doing something that you're passionate about, and you find that you're surrounded with amazing people. And I think I've got to say that at Word Gospel Impact Church as well, because that's where mainly we meet every Sunday. We're there. So many amazing people. I think I haven't had an encounter with someone whom I would say, no, this person is like, but amazing people. The band, the singers, you guys who play, you're just amazing. And
I appreciate it.
It's so wonderful to see that you have the culture of humanity within you, and you have the culture of having unity and humbleness at the same time. So I think it's a very great thing that when you're doing something that you love, you'll be surrounded by people who have positive mindsets, who are also adding value in your life. You are learning certain things from them. So that's a very wonderful thing. So going forward, I just want to understand, was there ever a time where you felt like you want to give up music as a career? By any chances, was there ever a time where you felt discouraged or felt some type of a way about being a drummer?
Man, honestly, if anyone can say they've never been that, they're lying. We've all had that season in our lives where you feel like things are just not making sense. Gigs are not coming through in how they normally used to come in. And yeah, man, now us being parents, because God blessed me with a son, so now obviously that changes also how you now perceive life.
Yeah.
You're like, is this worth it? I mean, now look at how things are. You can go maybe like a good 4 months with no gig, yet your child needs bread.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't change the fact that your kid needs to go to school.
Yeah.
So obviously within those elements, man, I personally had a moment where I'm like, is this music thing worth it? But again, I was reminded, I mean, this is my calling. This is something I randomly just decided when I was a kid, which I want to do this. And I've seen how Ngulungulu has taken me from because I'm born from, I was literally born in Joburg.
Okay.
So I moved down to Durban in 2006.
Okay.
So I've seen how God has shaped me in this music space. When I came to Durban, I didn't know anyone. I met talent. Talent introduced me to a number of musicians. I met Bheka Mthethwa, and Bheka Mthethwa recommended me for my first DVD recording. I think it was 2009 or 10. Wow. From there, I played a Christian Center Mlazi under the leadership of Ubamkwanyan. From there, I went to Oasis. Oasis, Ukaya was still umfana nje oculayo. He went from there to Idols. So yeah, but it's just a journey. So my Idols, he took us because we saw something and we grew together. We toured. I mean, this is now where we also got to be exposed to a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I thought it's okay, this is how things are. So coming from that into now, because COVID also was a main factor. Where you're like, I did one gig in COVID, bro, and I enjoyed that. Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
Travel to Joburg, risking, bro.
Yeah.
Travel to Joburg. So I saw record Undo shares his album. We did it, came back sick as Ninjalo, healed myself, life moved on.
Yeah.
But I mean, so we do have those moments in our seasons where we feel like giving up, but uNkulunkulu uyasikhumbuza ukuthi no, man, I've put you here for a reason.
Yeah.
For me, the reason yami is to be a leader at home, because there's no father figure, so I have to be that father figure at home. So uNkulunkulu has shaped me and built me into this person I am. I can proudly say I'm leading a household of 8 people, and all are looking up to me, whether being it a breadwinner or decision making. So God has shaped me. So for now, there's nothing. I must stop music. I'm pushing through, bro. Because we pushed through COVID. I mean, what's harder than that?
Yeah, COVID was crazy.
It was crazy. We pushed through.
Everything was closed down. It was crazy.
And here we are, man, doing my first podcast.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, man. We're learning new things, bro.
Yeah. I think it's good, man, to always try to do new things.
Yeah.
I made a post on LinkedIn, I think 2 days ago. I was like, when you're working on something, whatever that you're working on, it's either it be a business or it's your brand. Because as you are, as Boykie, that's your stage name, you are a brand.
Yeah.
And in building your brand, there's certain things that you have to consider as a person.
Yeah.
There is a reason why a child has to go to school to learn basic education phase from grade R up until grade 12. That is 13 years of your life. And there is a reason why a person has to go to varsity to get a 3 years bachelor's degree. There's also a reason why as a person, when you go to the work industry, you don't start as a senior, you don't start as a manager, you start as a junior.
Yeah.
I think that's the same principle that applies to building your brand.
Of course.
There's going to be those steps that are going to be very hard.
Yeah.
There's going to be moments where you feel like giving up. I'm sure some of us, like myself, I failed grade 5. I felt like it was the end of the world at that time.
Yeah.
I was not so good. And when you're young, you don't really think about giving up, because school is like something that is normalized. Even if you fail, you have to go back.
Yeah.
But you get to varsity now, you're writing tests, you're failing, you feel like let me just give up this thing and go back home. There's always going to be those moments. But when it comes to your brand, it's the same principle that applies. And I think we need to always think about it in that way of saying, building a brand is not easy.
It's never easy.
Building your portfolio as a drummer it's not easy. And you have to be someone who believes deeply in your abilities and in the potential that you have.
Yeah. And sacrifice a lot of time, brother. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you don't just know how to do certain things. You need to teach yourself. So you put in the time, you put in the effort, and it pays off.
Yeah. Because other people fail solely because they keep going. They just roll with the flow, but they're not improving anything.
Yeah, of course.
Which is the very most important thing whenever whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on. You can't just keep going blindly. If you're playing drums, you cannot be making the same blunders that you make on your last concert. You make it, you learn, we move. You're improving, you're going to the next level. That's the way how to channel yourself to, so that you can become successful in whatever that you're working on. So
definitely.
Yeah. So take me through what's your vision as a musician for the future, because this is something that is you're passionate about. It's a career for you, and you're sustaining yourself and your family through it. What's your vision for what you would love to do in the music industry?
Man, outside of just being on stage, as amazing as it is being on stage, I personally have a passion of grooming people and exposing them to the industry that we are in, with the good and the bad. Because I don't want people assuming that looking at us, it's all fun. It's not, brother. It's tough. There are very tough seasons. There's a lot of things that you get exposed to that challenge your character as well. Because music is not just a gift. It's also a character thing where your gift can definitely put you at the right door, but your character needs to keep you in that door or in that room. So for me, I'm always passionate about trying to groom the young ones. Like, guys, as good as you can be, but if your character is not aligned with your gift, then you're just literally doing nothing. Because I can take you and say, go play for Phindi P. Tomorrow Phindi P is gonna call me and is like, this person, it's not nice sitting with this person in one room. And then it becomes a challenge. So I try my best, even with drummers. I even have a group of 53 drummers here in Durban.
Wow.
We try by all means to help each other, whether it's conversations, like, dude, how do you do this? Like, guys, this is how I've done it. If you can learn from this is how you can do it. So I personally always try to groom people. Possibly if I could, maybe one day own a drum studio where I could just have a number of kids, because I'm from Elokshin, and I see there's a number of kids who are really passionate about playing, but now they're not exposed to, because in Elokshin there's a culture about this culture we're trying so hard to break. So I'd like to have a studio, have these kids come in, like, just play your heart out, man, and we'll channel your gift into the right places and just see people succeed, man. Like, I really want to see a number of musicians or drummers succeed in the industry before they say, we're taking all the gigs, what am I doing that's better than them? You know how talks are. But I really am passionate about them being exposed to the good and the bad in the industry.
That's a very wonderful thing, man. Like, it's a great thought process as a person who's a drummer, which our image has been put as something else. But it's very amazing to find someone who has that kind of a thinking. And I think it can be great to have some sort of a studio where the other people can have access to learn. And because one thing that was a disadvantage for me as well to grow musically was the environment that I grew up in. You grow up in that environment where you know that you're thinking, you think musically, and when you listen to songs, you have that zeal to say, you know what, I want to play songs like this. But you find that, okay, where I am playing, or the people that I'm playing with, is like, those churches where it's like, we are playing it that way, the Lokshin way and all that. Those things kind of disadvantage you in your growth. But if you bring something that is like a studio that will expose the reality of music,
and also changing the mindset of our bazali, man. So, I mean, some of us are fortunate. For me, I was fortunate because my parents were exposed to this music thing. We still, in this day and era, have parents who are saying, this music thing is a waste. There's no growth. You won't sustain your life. You want blah 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 blah. We try as well to change how parents, because I always make an example of myself. I'm like, look at me. I'm just a boy from Wamashu who is now exposed to a lot of people through just playing drums. Today, I can play for Kaya, I can play for Phindi P, I can play for whoever because I've had that support structure. So we also need to be that support structure for these kids.
Yeah, and it's the joy that it brings.
Of course, man.
Because growing up in this world, we tend to think, you have to get the money, or you have to get your money up, whatever. Have nice cars, have nice houses, and everything.
It doesn't sustain us, though.
And we forget that, was that the sole idea of God for making us to come on earth? Because when we are talking about stuff like this, we have to think about what is it that makes you happy as a person. I personally, I want to be successful. I want to have wealth, but I don't want to be at a point where I'm wealthy, I have the money, but I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting the wealth, I'm getting all that, but by things that are not making me happy. I think my life will be very worthless if I'm at that point. But for me, I think it's better to do something that makes you happy rather than having to conform to the society, to what the society is saying.
Of course. I believe also aligning yourself with the will of God, with your gift, and you never go wrong, bro.
True, because we try by all means, we have to get it right, get your money up and all that. Okay, that's good, but how about we do that while we are doing things that make us happy?
True.
I don't want to be going out and I'm working very hard, but every time when I come back in the house, I'm sad because the whole day I was doing something that I don't like. That's not the life that we should have as people, and we should change that narrative.
Definitely.
So what are some of the advices that you can give to upcoming musicians, specifically drummers, because you play drums, but you can give an overall advice as well because you play with different people, you're more exposed to different kind of instruments and all that. What's the advice that you can give to upcoming musicians?
Man, stay humble. Just always be humble. Be willing to grow. Be willing to learn. You never know it all. Be willing to learn. Be a fool if you have to be, to allow yourself to grow. Practice, man. Nothing beats practice. Practice as much as you can. As if you be like, bother yourself with information. We come from an era where we didn't have these informations, like your YouTubes, your what. These are things that are going to come now. So we made it a point for ourselves to push ourselves out there. Be it we go to jam sessions, we go to drum sheds, we go to clinics, we go to musical things, like we expose ourselves. So people, musicians, drummers, they should expose themselves. Be humble. There's always, I think one thing that works for me is always teaching myself and telling myself there's someone who's always going to be better than me in anything I do. It allows room for me to grow as well. If I know today I failed doing this, it's fine. I'll learn from a mistake, I grow. I'm humble enough for you to even come and tell me like, hey, my brad, you played something I understand there, and I should be able to accept and take it and grow from that. So just remain humble, focus, guys. Focus, man. Focus. In fact, there's so much headroom in this industry. It's just so sad seeing the same people there circulating the same industry when there's so much talent out there. But obviously now the characters are not aligning them to that. So they must try by all means. Align your gift with your character. Always, always, always. You can be a good drummer, but if your character sucks, bro, you'll be a good drummer sitting at home. So always try to balance your character with your gift. Always be humble. Be willing to learn. And you'll be fine. Straightforward.
Wonderful idea. I'm taking that one as well. I'm taking it. Well, Thank you very much, man, for coming through.
Thanks for having me, my brother.
I appreciate it a lot. This conversation meant a lot to me. There's so much that I've learned from you through this short conversation, and I think you mentioned really most important things: to be humble and to align your character with your gift. Wow, something that many people get wrong.
Yes,
Not even just musicians, but a lot of us. You know, almost everything that you do and that you will find that you are good at it. It's a gift from God.
Of course.
And because of that, you know, you become bossy,
arrogant.
you start being arrogant and all that. That's what many people do. But it's very important to align your character with your gift and to just always remain humble.
Yes.
So thank you very much for coming through, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, my brother.